What was that moment? See, working in property management, right? What was that moment that you're like, oh, I'm quitting this and I'm DJing full time. This is my profession.
Yeah,
I can do this.
When I used to overwork myself. So I would DJ 3 times or 4 times a week, and I still go to work in the morning. So I would have maybe like 4 hours or 3 hours of sleep and still go to work, which was crazy.
Yeah.
How many years were you doing that for?
I did it for like two years, or maybe like a year and a half.
Okay.
My mom's like, nah, you're not doing this anymore. You need to take some sort of rest, because I feel like if I did it, because I was still trying to like get my footing. I just needed a little bit of confidence to be like, you know what, just quit your job. I'm pretty sure you can get more money just DJing, so you'll have like some sort of concentration. So that's what I did, man. Okay. It's like just one day, it was just my mom's like, you need to rest.
Okay.
You're just overworking yourself.
Yeah, so it was your mom, man, who supported you. That's what's up. It's great that you had that support system, right? And to be able to remove yourself away from something you weren't really passionate about, to move your full effort into your passion, so you could actually create the music that you want to create the art that you want to create, and then get that recognition.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right?
Does she listen to hip hop, or does she listen to your DJ?
My mom used to listen to like Elvis Presley and Engelbert, like very like South Asian mom type, man. Yeah, like the old school. I don't think she knows what hip hop is.
Oh, okay. But she's just like push you, like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, she's like, you got to choose one thing or another. Right. Like put 100% in either the property thing, or put 100% into DJing.
Right. And you've been in Dubai now for quite a long time, right? Since '94, and the Dubai music scene has grown exponentially over the last decade or so.
Yes. Especially
in hip hop. How has it been, you witnessing that firsthand, and how does it feel to be part of that sort of explosion here in the UAE?
Back in the day, hip hop was big, like, but I think now, because the internet and it's just very quick. Everything's like, oh, you know what? Let me just drop a song today. And back in the day, I think more people were invested in it. Like if you're doing a hip hop, like it's proper deep roots hip hop kind of thing.
Right.
But now there are more and more hip hop artists. I mean, I feel as they're trying to do it for the quick buck, or it's just doing it for the now. Right. Whereas people back in the day, it was like they're trying to make classics, trying to see the longevity of it. And there wasn't many back in the day.
Right.
So I mean, it's grown exponentially for sure. Right. Like there's like all these record labels now.
Yeah.
Like Warner, Sony, and they're still trying to find the next big artist,
Yeah, and especially like that influence of American artists coming here to the UAE for like the big shows, like whether it's F1 or Wireless Now or Soul DXB. I sort of feel like the whole world is starting to center around the Middle East and the UAE specifically, because people are like, okay, like people actually go, because this place is still unknown to a lot of people back in America, right? Like in that side of the world.
Yep.
And I think that people have a really big misconception when they hear the UAE or the Middle East. They hear Islam. They hear conservatism, and hip hop and conservatism don't really go together, right? I think that the UAE has done a wonderful job in sort of marrying the two as best as they can to try to be progressive, but also holding to their, religious roots and the ethics and their values, but also allowing the space of the expats that are here to be able to enjoy, Western music and Western influences. So I think that's also helped, because people are now like, when I went back to New York, people were like, oh, how does it feel coming back? I was like, there's really not a difference in terms of like your nightlife. People always ask me about the nightlife here. I'm like, the nightlife here is in some aspects crazier than the stuff back in New York.
In New York, yeah.
Right?
That's what I heard as well.
Yeah, so I think that hip hop specifically here is well loved. People and all the big clubs here, people love hip hop. I'm not hearing pop music. But it's just sort of like interesting to see that still there's sort of like this sort of ignorance around the culture here in the UAE. And I think that, DJs such as yourself and other sort of prominent DJs here in the region are trying to bring a light here to try to like demystify that a little bit.
Yeah. I think when a lot of people come to Dubai, there's a whole misconception just like goes away.
Yeah, of course. As soon as you land,
they're like, what?
It's like, oh, okay.
It's like, yo, are these actual real girls? Like, you can actually go talk to them. Like, it's very different from like but there's still like a fine line of how far you can go. It's like, because I feel like in America you can just go as far as.
I said the pool parties here are different.
Yeah.
Where like pool parties here are more chill. Like if you ever go to a Vegas pool party, like you could full on like it's dancing while in bathing suits. Like,
I mean, I've seen all the videos.
Yeah.
I've seen all the videos.
You know what it is here, man? There's real consequences to your real crimes here.
Yeah.
Right?
Like you get caught, you're like,
you get caught, and there's some real stuff that's gonna happen to you. And I think just people have that fear, and I think that's the reason why people are comfortable
yeah.
in these pool parties specifically, where you're not dressed as covered up and stuff like
you
that.
could dress. I mean, like just the dancing, like yeah, you know what I mean.
I
But
mean,
they
I've
dressing
seen some
out
pool parties
here.
out here in Dubai too. It
For
gets a
real?
little crazy.
It get
That's good. It's wild. I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
But it's been such a sort of interesting experience to see how Dubai, especially the Middle East, even with Saudi, is going to be able to progress year after year with this.
I was gonna say, so there's international DJs that come out here. Do you see, is there a distinction between you feel like your style or the style of DJs in this region that you're like, this is what we're adding to the hip hop culture, this is the element that we're bringing, like, does that go in your mind as when you do a set where you're like, okay, I could just play the stuff that I hear about or I get from the internet, or it's like, I want to put in my culture as well and like add on top of this?
Not so much with, like I'm not gonna lie and say DJing didn't come from America. Like it's born in America. Like hip hop is like through and through American, right? So we still try to imitate and emulate DJs from New York and from LA, but we take like bits and pieces from it. Yeah. So it's good that people come to Dubai and kind of see this like whole melting pot of different styles of DJing. Because in New York it's like a lot of emceeing, scratch, drop a song. Whereas like in LA, it's more blend. It's more longer. Like people take time to kind of like study the music in LA, I feel.
Yeah,
bro. Like in New York, the Funk Master Flex bombs. Boom! Yes. It goes too long. I'm like, yo,
we like to talk shit in New York, right? In the parties.
They're like, yo, let me know where you from. Bomb. I'm like, yo, let me know if you got $20. Bomb. I'm like, okay, when's the song gonna start?
Like even, and that's why I've seen. Like I used to love watching DJs, right? So whether it's like Who Kid. All these other cats, like you just have all these drops, and so in my head I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like I just want to make people dance, right? Yeah. So I kind of like fell in love with all the LA style of DJing. Okay. There are still differences with the DJs in America, because we have a lot of different cultures in Dubai. We have the UK crowd, the grime, and then you have the French, like there's a
French rap,
and then you have a lot of there's a huge African like community in Dubai. So you have a blend of all of that you have to think about when you're playing.
Yeah. So how do you know for a specific part? Like, what's your research process for like putting a playlist together for a party? Is it like you generally have your own recipe that you generally follow and you change it around the edges, or do you kind of be like, all right, like the type of person who I think is going to be in this crowd, I have to kind of tailor it to that, and I have to kind of switch my general recipe for something like this? Like, what's your thought process? Because I'd be interested to know. I don't know too many DJs, so this
is going to be the first one. Bro, I love music. Like, I love music. I listen to a huge variety of music, whether it's Indian samples, and because I sometimes I play at like Indian, we have a party called Stick No Bills, where it's like a party that's for third culture kids, like kind of like me, where we play hip hop versions of like Indian songs.
Got it.
So we try and like deep dive into that. So I like to know where I'm playing and what time I'm playing at.
Okay.
So that I can go home and kind of like I said, deep dive into a rabbit hole.
Right.
Kind of like fit my style of DJing with the crowd that's there.
Okay. Yeah, if you showing up at 8 o'clock, that's different than you showing up at 2:30 in the morning,
Exactly.
right? Like,
Yeah. like I said, I love music. So whether it's me doing I'm a piano set or a dancehall or reggae set, if I have to do it, I will do it. Like I'll take some time off, kind of like put my spin into it. So when I'm DJing, everyone knows I'm going to be DJing. Like, because I love wordplay when I'm DJing. So there's bits of elements of what I put into it that people kind of like understand that, okay, yeah, Chef is DJing now.
Okay, cool. That's what's up. That your Chef is up there. He's on the ones and twos.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I need to get one of those like Mr. Shef Codes.
You don't have your own call sign or anything like that?
I do.
Okay.
But it's very quiet. It's like Mr. Shef Codes. It's very quick.
Okay.
It's just,
Subtle like your personality, but subtle but effective and impactful.